The RuneScape community is back at it again, and the world is up in flames. There is a massive riot happening in Falador on World 302. And the reason why is because Jagex has told us that they are banning a new RuneLite plugin, which will bring beautiful, classic HD graphics to RuneLite and thus old school RuneScape. A sole player by the name of 117 has worked over 2,000 hours solely by himself to develop these graphics in conjunction with the RuneLite team so that it can be released as a new plugin, free plugin for everyone on RuneLite. To put this in perspective, if this guy made $15 an hour, he would have made over $30,000 or maxed nearly 2 RuneScape accounts with the time that it took him to develop this plugin. So Jagex has really put their foot down saying that they have a similar graphics project that is quote unquote relatively early in the exploration stages. So 117 has also stated that he has offered a compromise with Jagex for removing his project from RuneLite once they are ready to release theirs. This would be a great thing to do because it would give the players access to the HD graphics now, and then when Jagex was able to actually implement it into their own client or into RuneScape itself, that would be available for us then as well. So there would be no gap in us having HD graphics. They have declined outright, and honestly, it could be months, more likely years, before we actually end up seeing this, if it even ever happens. So it is important to note that as far as I know, no one from the actual old school RuneScape team has made this decision. It was probably coming up from higher ups in Jagex. I can't say this for certain. This is just speculation at this point. So take my word with a grain of salt. So here you can see an actual example of the HD client, and this was posted by 117 himself. You can see just how stunning it is, and I had almost completely forgotten what RuneScape used to look like when it was in its HD glory days. But you can look and just see that, like, those bloom filters on those fire capes and how gorgeous they look and how vibrant those colors are. Not to mention the beautiful water graphics, the enhanced shadows and lighting that you can see all throughout all of these players. And you can see it's even running with this massive amount of players and cannons in one place in Falador. So I've never used it but for sure, but I can reasonably ascertain just from this image that we wouldn't expect to see too much lag coming through this plugin, so it really wouldn't interrupt day-to-day gameplay on RuneScape. It is just really stunning to see how great some of the classic items look, like the Crystal Shield and the Bandos chestplate and tassets and the Slayer helmet. It just really coming to life with whole new colors, shadows, and textures with this brand new HD client. So this picture actually makes me really sad because I would really love to see something like this come into the actual game. But what a beautiful way to recreate the old nostalgic feel of RuneScape 3. And so this update really just isn't great, not only for current players, but it also has potential to bring in new players as well. And in fact, I was actually going to make a video on how to get your friends to play old school RuneScape. So some of mine definitely won't play because they see lackluster graphics and just point and click gameplay. But really, when you dive into it, old school RuneScape is so much more than that. You take a look at something complex like Chambers of Xeric or Theater of Blood, Vorkath with walking through the Venom, Zulra, all of the complex tick manipulation and mechanics and challenges that go along with playing the game. It's so much more than just point, attack, take damage, attack the other person. It really does get much more involved and much more in depth than that. But you tend to not see that, or new players tend to not see that until later on in the game, unless they're exposed to it through a friend or colleague. So I think, in my opinion, one of the biggest draws to RuneScape is the nostalgia factor. So graphics are an immediate turnoff for people who have not played RuneScape in the past. And I think with an update like this to the HD client for RuneScape, it has a lot of potential to bring in not only new players, but also give people who have friends who are not yet on RuneScape a real chance to dive into the game and enjoy it as it was meant to be played. So, with that being said, this is really just a monumental moment in gaming, and it might even go down in RuneScape history. It's always crazy to see when people start rioting in Falador and all the massive amounts of people and the lag that's going on with those servers. I really hope from the bottom of my heart that Jagex will reconsider this, or that there can be some sort of agreement worked out between 117, Adam of RuneLite, and Jagex and the JMods, because these HD graphics are really better than anything that I could have possibly imagined. I know myself and a lot of you guys out there would love to see something like this come into RuneScape. So if you're in agreement with me, or even if you disagree, by all means leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about this. I would love to hear your thoughts and reactions. And if you enjoyed this content and like to see more of it, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps my channel reach new people. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.